Hey YouTube, how you doing? This is Reviewer97. In today's review, we're actually going to take a break from the Hammer series that I've been recently doing, and we're going to talk about a documentary that I just watched this morning, and I actually really liked it. I mean, it was really amazing. I believe I saw this documentary many years ago when I was really into, you know, all this kind of thing, but I forgot it and I couldn't remember exactly what had happened in the whole thing. You know, I really didn't pay attention to much of it. I was just one of those things who would only, when he saw the main thing, he'd just stare at it and watch it and then leave again until it came back. So this is the it is a documentary by filmmaker Ken Burns, who's made a million cool things, such as, you know, the war, baseball, jazz, he's made a bunch of good documentaries, especially for PBS, Public Broadcasting Service. And the documentary I'm going to talk about today is from his America collection, and it is called The Statue of Liberty, which I actually managed to rent a copy from my local library. And to be honest with you, it is a very good documentary. It's only an hour long, but it's amazing to see what Ken Burns is able to do with that hour in this documentary. Without further ado, let's talk a little bit about this documentary. The first half of the documentary mostly covers about how the statue was built and why it was built and why they chose to ship it to America. It also talks about Edouard Laballe's early designs before he came up with the design of the statue you now see in the New York Harbor. It's also amazing to see how the statue was brought to the New York Harbor by boat, and also it goes to show that the pedestal was built much separately from the original statue, and it was all had to be reassembled in New York Harbor as well. The project was, of course, in the hands of Edouard Laballe, but it was in the hands of many other people too, such as the pedestal was in the hand of an American architect whose name I can't exactly remember right offhand, but I remember learning about him in my history class a few years ago. The cool thing about the Statue of Liberty made by Ken Burns is to see that he was able to cover so much within only an hour. This documentary originally aired on October 28th, 1985, which was amazing to see, as I had not known that Ken Burns had made documentaries and stuff like that since that time. Most of his documentaries, such as baseball, jazz, the war, the Civil War, they're all a little bit modern. The war is still a little bit on the old end, and so is baseball. They're both from the 1990s. But the other ones really surprised me to see, and his America collection that I have seen is just amazing to see. I mean, it just pretty much talks about how the statue became its symbol and how it became like the symbol of hope, especially when people started immigrating to this country and had to go through Ellis Island to become citizens of this country, and how the Statue of Liberty's presence, in a sense, welcomed them to this country and gave the symbol that there was hope ahead. My thoughts on the Statue of Liberty is that it's an amazing documentary directed by one of the most amazing directors, Ken Burns, who has directed many famous documentaries in his time, such as the Civil War, the Brooklyn Bridge, his first project, the Shakers, and many other documentaries, including his most famous, The War, along with baseball, jazz, and many others, including a new one called The Roosevelts, which will be premiering not this month, in, I believe, fall of this year. Ken Burns is always bringing something new and great out. But I have to say, the Statue of Liberty gives a lot of history and is able to give you so much about how it was constructed, who constructed it, and what it did for America within only 60 minutes. That is the part I find amazing, is that it only took 1 hour to explain it all, and he was able to squeeze about 3 hours of information into 1 hour. I'm sure there's a lot more we can still learn about the Statue of Liberty from many other sources, but I have to say, this is a good, quick, easy way to learn a lot about the Statue of I kind of feel I need to skip this part, but I'll just throw it out there anyways. Yes, the Statue of Liberty is appropriate for all ages. It is not rated. It has nothing bad in it whatsoever. It's amazing. I would encourage your kids to watch this, especially if they're going to be taking a U.S. or world history class at their school, as it will give them great knowledge behind something that's amazing. I actually recommend all of Ken Burns' America series, especially if you're taking U.S. history. If you're taking world history, you might want to look at some of his other works, such as The War. Then you might get a little bit more of an understanding, but I would have to say, don't pass this up if you're a historian like me. I've been saying it pretty much throughout the whole video. It's amazing, it's a classic piece of work, and it's something that really no other director can do. Ken Burns is always doing something amazing for PBS, which is Public Broadcasting Service, like I said at the beginning of this video. If you're looking to find this DVD, I would say go to Amazon.com, or you can find it pretty much anywhere on the internet, or you might be able to find it in your local video store. I was able to find this copy at my public library. Also, ask your public library if they have anything like this. You can find books, you can find movies, you can find documentaries about this particular subject. But if you want a good documentary, I recommend The Statue of Liberty. I give it a 5 out of 5 due to the fact that it's a good history lesson within only an hour. Thank you for watching. That is all I have for The Statue of Liberty, and tomorrow we will go back to Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory to see what he has to say in response to the creature's death.